I am just shocked that Bernie Sanders is being accused of sexism. And this says something about the way that Hillary Clinton is running her campaign and the media's eagerness, I think, to always deal with anything, any whiff of sexism, because it makes for, yes, a sexy story. So the backstory here, as you may know, is that in the Democratic debate, the one moderated by CNN, the subject turned to gun control, which is an area where Hillary Clinton is for more gun control, and Senator Sanders, representing Vermont, has somewhat of a spotty record. And he says in this debate that all the shouting in the world isn't going to resolve the gun violence problem. Seems like a perfectly normal statement for a politician to make, but then Hillary Clinton decided to use that in an attack when she said this.
Now, I've been told to stop shouting about ending gun violence. Well, I haven't been shouting, but sometimes when a woman speaks out, some people think it's shouting.
Okay, so I'm not fully getting how talking about shouting was supposed to be some kind of sexist slap at Hillary. I do get, and the debate was further evidence of it, that Hillary Clinton seems to be intent on reminding voters every chance she gets that she would be the first female president. Kind of obvious from you look at her on a stage with a bunch of guys, but clearly she is making a play for the women's vote, which she already has a majority of, at least on the Democratic side. And unlike in 2008 when she played it down, she plays it up every chance she gets. But now the media are taking this a step further. There's a piece in Politico quoting Hillary allies as raising questions about Bernie Sanders and his choice of language. By the way, I think it was some people close to the Hillary campaign who found it sexist when Sanders said, yes, I'd be willing to consider her as my vice president. Okay, isn't that a pretty standard thing that every candidate says? You always want to say that you're going to win the nomination. And as for your rival, nice guy, nice gal, I guess you can't say that anymore. I consider putting them in my cabinet. I consider them as my running mate. Maybe it's a tad condescending, but sexist. So here's this Politico piece. And one of Hillary's allies, Christine Quinn, she's the former New York City Council Speaker, is quoted as saying she is stunned that Bernie Sanders would get sucked into this very dangerous rhetoric, which perpetuates sexist and misogynist stereotypes. And if Bernie Sanders doesn't want to be seen as someone who uses sexist language, he should tell his people to stop, and if not, he should fire them. Okay, you know, in the annals of political rhetoric, I guess all is fair, but isn't this getting a little out of control? Now, if Bernie Sanders had actually said something or done something that seemed to belittle Hillary Clinton running as a woman, then fine, hit him back and let's slug it out. But this seems to be a case where the Hillary campaign, at least, and maybe the Clinton herself, are looking for opportunities to be offended so they can raise this issue, so they can remind everybody that she would, yes, indeed, be the first female president. I don't think the media should buy into this uncritically, and as a political tactic, if Hillary keeps hitting people over the head with this I am a woman and don't insult me kind of thing, I think it potentially could backfire. So I want to keep a close eye on this. Is this sexism charge, is any criticism of Hillary going to be dismissed as sexism? And if that's the case, isn't that some kind of sexist double standard?